Hello?
Hello, is this Mr. Spearin?
Yes, it is.
This is Lesley Constable from the Columbus Dispatch calling back.
All right. One moment, Lesley.
Thank you.
Hello?
Hello, is this Yoko?
Hello, Lesley. How are you?
Oh, good. How are you?
I'm okay.
Thank you so much for granting me this interview. I'm really thrilled to talk with you.
Well, it's my pleasure.
Oh, thank you. First of all, is it okay that I tape record this conversation? I don't take
fine.
Yeah, good. I don't take shorthand. Initially, the reason that I wanted to talk with you is about your releasing John's artwork.
Yes.
Internationally.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I spoke with Lynn Clifford, she said that you are arranging a retrospective of your own work at the Whitney.
Mm-hmm.
Is that true?
Oh, well, who says this?
Lynn Clifford,
What?
your publicist?
I see. Well, she's not my publicist, but she's a publicist for the gallery, I suppose.
Okay.
Yes, well, I might do a show, yes.
Oh, okay.
Well, I don't know if it's Whitney or not. I mean, this is all just sort of like something that is not really clear yet, so I don't think I should say anything about it.
Okay, that's great. But I'm a longtime fan of yours,
yes,
as well as John's, and I just think that you're a wonderful artist, and what you were doing years ago, just people are just starting to understand now, and I'm just really excited about the idea of your work being shown again. And
but you see, the thing is, just like the Syracuse Museum showed,
right,
which we did at the time, etc. I think it's much better when something is really decided and then talked about, you know?
Exactly.
So I don't think you should talk about that if you don't mind.
I won't talk about it at all. I just thought, because I asked her if it was something I could talk about, and she said yes, and so that's the only reason I brought it up.
Well, I better tell her. Yeah, okay.
Well, maybe at some later date.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Why now? Why are you releasing John's work now? And I guess I want to know how it came about, what you were thinking, and what sort of response it's gotten so far.
The response has been extremely well.
Oh, that's good.
It's very strong response, actually. Positive response. And I think that one of the reasons that I decided to bring it out was because I remembered how much John wanted gallery shows. And he was having a hard time at the time because, well, he did one gallery show as soon as we met, not as soon as, but even before we got married. He did a show in London called You Are Here Show, and which was a successful show. But then we did lithograph shows,
right,
and which were shows that one in London, one in New York, and both of them, I think, had a negative flag because one was confiscated in London, was confiscated by the police, and the New York one was kind of so-so, I understand. We weren't there, but we understood that it was so-so. We got reports about it. In those days, I think that people didn't react kindly to John's work without seeing the work even. In other words, just had a strong prejudice against his work because he was such a famous pop star.
Why do you think that is? Do you think people resented the fact that he worked in another medium?
Well, you see, he was like a Renaissance man. He was really feeling very easy working in all different media. And that's the kind of thing that people don't understand. That they would like to see that one person is professional in just one field.
Right.
And there's a set idea about that.
Right.
So it's hard to break that one.
Yeah, it's like this is the age of specialists, and you're not supposed to be a generalist, and that's really hard for someone as brilliant as John.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Did you ever get the work back that was confiscated by the police?
Yes, I think that. Well, I don't really know. I shouldn't say yes so easily. Well, I'm sure that it was returned to the publisher at the time.
Was that from the Bag 1 series?
Yes, the Bag 1.
Right.
All the Bag 1s were confiscated.
Okay. Now, I have heard that John drew every day of his life, and that was a way that he released tension. And that must mean that you have just hundreds of his drawings. What plans do you have for
All right,
that?
hundreds, yes, but not thousands. And
Right.
the reason is because John was, I wouldn't say exactly every day, you know.
Right.
But yes, he used to just go anytime, whenever he felt like. But he was very, very aware of his position already. Because
Right.
remember that when I met him, he was already a Beatle, a very famous Beatle.
Oh, yeah.
So he did not like the idea of any bad drawings or sketches being shown later.
Right.
So whenever it's something that he didn't like, he made sure to just crumple it and throw it in a wastebasket, you know,
Uh-huh.
and wouldn't keep anything that he didn't think was okay.
Hmm.
He was like that, and in fact, it's very interesting because I think there was one drawing that came out in Sotheby's, and I didn't know where it came from, and found out that the person who put it in a Sotheby's show actually picked up from a wastebasket. You know, and I'm saying, is this, you know, maybe legally I don't have a case there, but is it morally right? He didn't want it to be shown, that's why it's in the wastebasket, you know. But that's how he was.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, do you think that would have amused him? That someone
yes,
took
maybe,
it out of the waste paper basket?
Yeah, but also he was pretty particular about those things. So then part of him might be saying, ooh, you know, why are they doing that?
That is strange. Now, I've also read that there are neon works and tapestry.
Yes.
And this is going to be a traveling exhibit, or it already is. And when did that open? And where is it going?
Well, the traveling exhibit started, I think, did it start in New York? I don't know, really.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But, I mean, it started like 2 years ago.
Right.
And
I read that.
I think initially all the galleries thought, oh, this is just going to be a one-time thing, you know?
Right.
And then they realized that it was received better than they thought it would be.
Mm-hmm.
And also that in some cases, not just the fans liking it, but art students and art professors and those people started to realize that as work, it was a very, very decent work.
Mm-hmm.
So I think now they know that it's going to go on and on for a long time. And the traveling show is very popular. And probably because, as you said, you know, he has hundreds. Not thousands, though.
Hundreds.
You know, right. So I'm sort of going to be showing gradually, and he would have a good long life as an artist.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Now, it also went to Maui, is that right?
Yes.
Hmm. And I saw something about it being in Boston.
Yes.
And Palm Beach, so it's really traveling all over.
Mm-hmm.
Now, are these works based on his drawing then? And there are other artists that do them?
No. Well, let's put it this way.
Okay.
It's almost like a sculpture
Mm-hmm.
by a sculptor.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes the sculpture itself was carved by the sculptor. But usually, especially if it's like an ironwork or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
they first make it in plaster,
Mm-hmm.
and then the artist send it so that it will be turned into bronze or something, you know.
Right.
And somebody who makes it, turns that into bronze, is not considered an artist, but
Right.
is somebody who performs the act of realizing that in that particular material, So in that sense, I don't think that John's work was materialized into a neon thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think that it was some other artist sort of creating something new out of it. You know, it's an adaptation, but also it's to do with John's art.
Right. Well, it's sort of like Matisse had helpers when he became older.
Yes.
And
well, for instance, when Matisse was doing stained glass, I mean, he would do a drawing
mm-hmm.
of the stained glass window with all the coloring sort of instructed, and the stained glass people do the stained glass.
Right. I've also heard that something about a documentary with David Wolper about John.
Yes, David Wolper is now doing a documentary which will be, I think, completed by sometime this year, end of this year.
Oh, that's great. And when can we see it then? When?
Well, that's what I mean. Probably you'll be seeing it this year.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's wonderful. How does Sean react to the work? Does he like his father's drawings, and what does he think about them?
Sean loves everything that John did.
Oh, that's great.
And so I'm just trying to tell him that, you know, it was a different age, mm-hmm. and so there's certain things that your dad did that you don't have to do. You know? But he adores his father.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Well, the works are very... Well, I got for Christmas in 1964, I got In His Own Right by John, with the lovely, funny poems and the drawings, and then there was Spaniard in the Works, and they have such a wonderful... And especially the drawings that you've recently released that I've seen, they're very... they're like gesture drawings, and they're very succinct, and
yes, they have an incredible sense of humor, I think.
Yes, they do.
And that was John. And I think art world being so serious and all that is very good to sort of give a little kick.
Oh, yeah.
You know, in there, whatever.
Well, they sum up things so nicely and with such little effort, or what it looks like with such little effort. And it almost, I don't know, sort of like Matisse, who I love, and, and Picasso, or something that delightful.
Yes.
Sense
There's
of
something
line.
that has a kind of grace of simplicity. You know?
Oh, yeah. Just wonderful. Well, I don't know really what else to ask about John's work and what's in the future for his work. I mean, are you just going to continue to release drawings as you look them over? Is that what you do? Is you just sort of look at what he has and his perhaps portfolio?
Well, I'll be sort of. I promised the fans that every year I'm going to bring something out of John.
Oh, that's great.
At least, right?
Mm-hmm.
From 1980. So there'll be a few things that'll come out, and I don't know of any year that I didn't bring out something. I think every year I sort of make sure to bring out something. Or maybe I was thinking of bringing out one album a year or something, but turns out that 1 year it couldn't come out, and 1 year 2 came out or something, only because of the record company's schedule or whatever.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But that's what I'm doing now, and most people sort of wonder what I'm doing of my own work, and I think
do too.
Yeah, but I think that I can wait. I have a long year ahead, long life ahead, and I can just do that.
Do you still work? I mean, do you still do your own artwork? And if you do, what sort of work do you do? I mean, you're so talented.
I'm not telling you until it comes out.
Okay. But I don't know. I don't know if Lynn was supposed to mention this to me either, that you're in the studio and you're now recording.
Yeah, I'm recording too, yeah.
Oh, that's great. Well, now, 5 years ago, Meredith Monk was singing very much like you were years ago.
Yeah.
And, then the B-52s, and it was like you were doing this a long time ago, and it's like people are just finally starting to catch up to where you were a while ago, and I'm just sort of curious as to where you are now and what you're doing. You're so talented yourself, and I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you what, my feeling is I'm not in a hurry to do something.
Okay.
I'm just sort of trying to do it on my own pace. And it, John's artwork is something that should come out now. And see, I think there's a certain thing called divine timing,
Right.
And I don't have to set the timing. I think that it's set,
Right.
And it's very interesting that way. I mean, for instance, the Lesley and Tape radio show.
Right.
It happened, and of course, I was instrumental in having that happen, But at the same time, I mean, it's like I didn't say it had to come out, in certain date or anything like that. It just sort of, okay, and it just came out. And I think the documentary film is coming out just at the time when everybody listened to Lesley Tape and started to recall about John a lot.
Right.
So it's just very, very, and some people asked me if I planned it that way, that the Lesley Tape radio show would create an interesting John, and then the documentary comes out, No, I didn't time it, but that's what I call divine timing. I mean, divine timing is happening, and I'm very thankful.
It's like everything in its own time.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Well, the peace movement, I heard that you attended the summit with Gorbachev and Reagan. Is that correct?
No, I didn't attend the summit, but I did, yes. I was invited to a kind of artist conference or something that Gorbachev was giving in Washington.
Are you still involved a lot in the peace movement? Is that a pretty big concern of yours still?
Well, that's the foremost concern for all of us, I think, especially considering what our children have to go through and everything.
Right.
And ourselves, let's be kind to ourselves too. We might live, quite a few years more, just sort of like, it's very, very important that that's done for all of us.
Oh, yeah. When can we expect your new record out? And what will it be?
I don't know yet.
Okay.
I'm working
Divine
on
time again, huh?
Yeah, divine time. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I think that's about all I have. I'm wondering...
I'll tell you about a story that I just remembered about divine timing.
Okay.
In old days, like when we did Happy Christmas. And we wrote the song right after summer, I think. Just sort of like still a bit warm, so it might have been September. And then we just totally forgotten about it. And then suddenly we decided to record Happy Christmas to make the Christmas market,
Right.
And of course, I think it came out like, we pushed it, and it came out like maybe like December 20th or, I don't know, or December 30th, We missed it. We missed the Christmas market. That's what it was. And we felt like real dumb, The Christmas market, and it's Happy Christmas, And, but they're playing now.
Right. So it decided that it was going to come out when it wanted to come out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's a song that John and I decided to write. John was saying, let's write a Christmas song that would go bigger than White Christmas.
Right.
And I was saying, what? Nobody's going to do that. But I think it's bigger now,
Yeah.
Because I think our generation relates more to Happy Christmas.
Is there any possibility of your ever coming to Columbus?
I think there's always a possibility, yes.
Okay. My friends, I told them I might be talking with you, and my friends said I'm involved with this gallery that has just shown, I guess, a group of the Fluxus artists Are you still involved with them?
Well, I mean, I'm probably more known as a Fluxus artist than anything else. I mean, it's just a name,
Yeah, how do you feel about, like, being aligned to a group with a name and all that? It almost doesn't seem like it goes with...
Well, I don't think any of the people, the original Fluxus people, ever thought of themselves as Fluxus artists.
Right, right.
Maybe now, because Fluxus is a movement that has a big name and all that.
Right.
Fairly big name. So
right.
people say, oh, I will be a Fluxus artist. I want to join it. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, but...
So, anyhow, my friend said, if I could ask you to maybe come to Columbus sometime.
Well, you see, the thing is, I was surprised that you wanted to sort of do an article, even though the gallery show's not in a prospect there,
Right.
And I thought that was very sweet, and I was touched by that. Also, I don't know, these days, a lot of there's occasions when this name or higher is coming into my consciousness all the time. So maybe it's I don't know, maybe that's, you see, that happens, you know that, don't you?
I know it does, parallelism or something like that.
It's almost like, it's almost like a kind of a message, I know. And then it starts to come a few times, and then you meet them, you know what I mean? It's that one, So I'm starting to think, maybe I am going to go to Ohio.
I would love it. It's funny, in my life lately, there's been nothing but that parallelism, and at first, when it started happening, it sort of frightened me, and then I thought, well, this is wonderful, and so now I'm just enjoying it. But
yes, that's what it is. It's an interesting thing that the only reason why we have fear, it seems like, is because we're ignorant.
We don't understand, yeah.
If we do understand it totally, then it seems like everything is a blessing.
And you relax and you just say, well, this is to enjoy, not to be frightened.
Exactly, but it's so difficult to know that one,
Yeah, it is. I fight with that one all the time.
Yeah, every day I have to check myself,
Yeah.
Oh, what am I complaining? No. I mean, this must be a blessing. And I kept saying to myself, like, oh, this is a blessing in disguise, or probably this is a blessing in disguise. And I realized that I should never say blessing in disguise, because then it'll always come in disguise,
Right. It's
so
just
now
a blessing.
I'm saying, it's a blessing.
Right out front, it's a blessing.
Yeah, right.
Doesn't have to hide.
I know.
Yeah.
So I'm still in that learning process, shall we say.
Yeah, that's great. Well,
so I wish you all the best.
Oh, thank you.
Whatever you're doing, and probably we're going to meet.
I hope. I wish you the best, and I hope to see your art again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Bye-bye.